Hi, mine's Phil. I like talking about politics, and in this video I'd like to discuss whether Tommy Robinson might go the way of Al Capone, responsible for a whole range of offences but ultimately clobbered for tax dodging. Because Tommy 10 Names is now being highlighted for potential tax evasion. We say Tommy 10 Names because Tommy Robinson's actually a stage name for him, which I'm happy to use, quite happy with that. If performers can go by stage names, then why can't anyone? But his legal name is still Stephen Yaxley Lennon. It's the name on the Irish passport he's using to travel around Europe while his followers get thrown into prison. It's the name he uses when he attends court himself, which he does on a regular basis, when he's not skipping court hearings altogether, that is. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if a good chunk of our current court backlog was actually just a list of Tommy Robinson cases. And judging by the latest news on his tax affairs, there should probably be another one added to the list. The Sunday Times reported on Robinson's businesses making profits and then filing for insolvency before ever paying taxes. It's been noted that these businesses also didn't seem to have filed annual accounts, which is very illegal. Like, you can make the odd mistake or be late with accounts, but what's been reported here would appear to be a habit, not just in the case of one business, but numerous, a habit of setting businesses up, taking money in, then deciding it's insolvent without ever sending HMRC annual accounts and getting out of the tax owed. Now, maybe he's just really bad at business. Businesses, after all, do go bust. Maybe Robinson's just really bad at running them. Only a little bit odd that he manages to live the life of a millionaire whilst also having such a terrible head for business. Only, as tax lawyer Dan Needle points out, when businesses become insolvent, they can quite often have large tax bills that they can't pay. But they also tend to have debts with lots of other player creditors as well, or at least significant debts elsewhere. But the only debts of any significant value that these businesses seem to have, according to this report, are to HMRC. Essentially, the business accounts seem to be largely fine, apart from, we can't pay the tax bill. Combined with the failure to post annual accounts, according to Needle, it sort of looks like these businesses may well have been set up as a way of shifting assets and dodging the taxes on the income. What's really curious is how HMRC allowed the various people involved in this, which includes, but is not limited to, Robinson himself. Obviously, there would have needed to have been tax advisors involved. In fact, there have been tax advisors involved with the project. But how HMRC have let them get away with it? Because it raises an interesting notion. So whatever the reason was that Robinson and his associates were getting away with this so far may change, because the Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, had already talked before the election about wanting to boost the recruitment of tax inspectors, clamp down on tax avoidance and tax evasion alike. Well, these sort of shenanigans are probably already illegal. Because if the businesses are just being set up as a way to dodge taxes, that's not legal. So if the businesses are, as you'd suspect, created just as a way of hiding tax evasion, this sounds like exactly the sort of thing the Treasury would now want to go after in order to help balance the books for future spending in a way the Conservative government weren't that bothered about. Dealing with tax avoidance, that means changing existing tax rules because tax avoidance is legal. But tax evasion can be pursued if HMRC have got the motivation and the resources to do it. So might we see Tommy Robinson, like Al Capone nearly a century before, finding himself in court charged with tax evasion and getting significant prison time for that, even if not more of his nefarious activities? Although I would still say I'd expect to see a serious criminal investigation into his role in the riots as well. It's not like there's any shortage of lines of criminal investigation pointing at him. You've got incitement potentially to look at, as well as organisation of the terror attacks. He propagated a list of targets with dates and times, and those targets were attacked at those dates and times, so he's got to be involved in that. There's big contempts of courts, which the courts don't actually seem sufficiently annoyed about, in my view. The courts actually seem more annoyed about Katie Price skipping a court hearing about an actual bankruptcy, as opposed to Tommy Robinson, who's committed serious contempts of court and other breaches of the law. But anyway, consider that he was supposed to attend court just before the riots kicked off, specifically for spreading disinformation designed to inflame racial tensions. So if this man is not spending the next decade at least sunning himself through iron bars as opposed to on the beaches of Europe, then I think our justice system really is in need of a massive overhaul. But there we are. Those are my thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe for further content and click the like button. You can also sign up for memberships if you'd like to support the channel further. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.